the Spring to Life update. An update that has reshaped the world's environments with new immersive features, has instilled a more diverse and ambient world. But whilst the Spring to Life is good enough on its own, is there a way we can enhance this update with mods? Well, let's find out. Get fitted with all your adventuring gear, as today we will see how the Spring to Life update can bloom further with the power of mods. From immersive particles to atmospheric sounds and diverse wildlife, let's step out into the world's lands and discover what mods await us. Spring to Life has an emphasis on reinvigorating some of the world's older biomes and mobs, and so this first portion of mods are directed towards enhancing these newly introduced features. Our first mod to check out is Hendrix's Better Spring to Life. This doubles down on the features and changes introduced by the update, as well as incorporating new additions that fit thematically with the update. Fireflies, for instance, can be bottled and displayed in a firefly jar, serving as a great piece for players to admire their emissive display. Certain elements from the past have also sprung their way into Minecraft's terrain. From hollow logs lying across the forest floors, to moonblooms and muddy pigs settling into their new habitats, the mod gives a way for features from previous concepts to flourish in the world's sandbox. Finally, the mod distributes new plant variations, types, and other lively secrets throughout the world's biomes, further diversifying Minecraft's landscapes to be more ambient and unique. The cow, chicken, and pig all received new temperature variants to encounter in a similar manner to frogs. Mob loot variants is a subtle mod that adjusts the loot tables for each of the mob's variants to further highlight their differences. Like the temperate mobs retain the original designs, so too does their loot tables remain unchanged. However, the mob variants enduring in hotter climates will drop more meats, but less animal resources. Contrasting to their hotter relatives, colder mob variants aren't as meaty, but pack more in feathers and leather to help keep them warm. Not only do these tweaks distinguish these mob variants further, but they also change how players collect drops from them. Biome temperatures now indirectly play a slight role in the player's acquisition of food and materials. Since their original reveal, fireflies are a long-awaited inclusion to further Minecraft's ambience as part of the Firefly Bush. Although this primarily serves as an ambient plant, this next mod, Dark Detector, brings a nifty use to the Firefly Bush. Should the player wander in a dark zone with the Firefly Bush on hand, a cluster of fireflies will appear around the player. A clever way to signal this area is dark enough for mobs to spawn. Strolling amongst Minecraft's forest and spotting the newly included fallen trees are a welcome change to see. Fallen Logs takes this premise further and distributes fallen log variants to many of the overworld trees. Each of these fallen trees factors in its surrounding habitat, ensuring they all feel unique, yet similar enough with the other fallen tree types to establish consistency across the world's forests. We've now witnessed some mods that have enhanced the new changes, but let's continue exploring, as this next suite of mods enhances Minecraft's atmosphere further, but in a way feels thematic to the Spring to Life release. Let's have a look at Minecraft's polar bear. Now, the polar bears weren't updated in the Spring to Life, but if there was a mod that improves this mob, it would have to be the bare minimum if it were respecting the update's theme. This mod sees some major adjustments to the polar bear, as well as the addition of 2 bear types defined. The black bear is the smallest and most timid of the 3 bears, and are easily frightened by loud noises. They may appear to be the friendlier of the trio, based off their diet, but that doesn't mean they'll do what they must to protect themselves and their cubs. Brown bears are more neutral towards passing creatures, and can hold their own if provoked. Usually though, they'll generally keep to themselves, unless they catch wind of their favourite food nearby. Finally, the polar bear has been overhauled considerably to match its reputation as a dangerous predator. Thanks to its noticeably larger size, the polar bear can easily overwhelm its prey with its raw strength, and isn't easily deterred by hits, with greater knockback resistance and health pool. The polar bear is not a creature to cross paths with if encountered in the wild. Hopefully, these bears bring something new to see when exploring in this update. Through traversing the world, it's evident that particles play a significant role in improving the atmosphere, and one such mod that can enhance this further is Effectual. Effectual focuses on implementing new particles to many facets of the world, noticeable and subtle to elevate Minecraft's atmosphere. From cave dust sifting in the earth, to seeing the effects of water and fire have on creatures, players and blocks alike. These particles add an element of immersion that's seldom seen across the world. On the topic of particles, this next mod, Drip Sounds, applies a few changes to how particles behave. These primarily focus on the drip particles from water and lava, applying the dripstone drip sounds to both water and lava drip particles, and settings to adjust the rate of drip particles. In addition, the mod provides options to configure the range and number of blocks that receive random animation ticks, allowing for the generation of particles and sounds associated with these dynamic blocks to occur more or less frequent. Weather in Minecraft is usually an element that is quite quickly avoided, and considering the latest update centered around atmosphere, it seems like this is the perfect window to enhance this aspect of the game. Particle Rain is the all-in-one weather mod to improve the weather conditions in the overworld. It first overhauls rainy and snowy conditions with better particles and weather patterns to be a bit more dynamic and slightly less overwhelming than their original counterparts. Sandstorms are now visible rolling through the deserts and other dry biomes, bringing a unique weather event to endure in these harsh environments. Water particles also react dynamically to their surrounding environments and surfaces they impact on, letting rainstorms be a peaceful and visually appealing weather event to be immersed in. Finally, small bands of ground fog adds another layer of atmosphere to very humid biomes. Fog is also a key player in providing a level of depth in environments, and the mod Fog is a mod to amplify the game's fog further. This completely overhauls the fog, adjusting its start and end points, its thickness, as well as adding colour to the fog. The fog's appearance differs in response to the time of day, the biome, elevation, and changes in weather patterns. All these elements result in a fog that behaves dynamically, improving the fog's visual appeal and consistency in creating immersive environments. Sound plays one of the most important roles in establishing an environment, and with Spring to Life implementing new sounds across the overworld, let's conclude with a mod to push these soundscapes further. Resonance Ambience introduces variety to the world's environments through inserting ambient sounds. These are all played through a mixture of idle loops that are heard under certain conditions, ensuring each biome and their soundscapes are unique. Thunder has been given a fresh library of thunder sounds too, which factors in the player's distance to sound closer or quieter, producing believable and imposing thunderstorms. Our journey today has revealed how these Ranger mods have achieved more immersive landscapes, brimming with details, sounds, and sights to see, all while fitting near seamlessly into Spring to Life. Time to enjoy and be immersed in an atmospheric modded Spring to Life update.